I recently manifested one of the most important and powerful and magical things that I've ever manifested in my life. I've manifested a lot of money, a lot of success, happiness, fulfillment, the life of my dreams. But if you're not healthy, none of that means anything, okay? You can have the physique of your dreams. You can have a condo on the beach. You can drive supercars. You can have more money than you know what to do with, that you can literally retire. But if you don't have health, then you have nothing at all. And recently, I manifested health. Not that I was unhealthy, but what I manifested was my heart, my cardiovascular body, my physical health in its entirety is actually almost 10 years younger than my actual age. And this is probably one of the most important manifestations that I ever created. It was nothing that I had done where I visualized specifically for this to happen. Nothing specifically I visualized for this to happen. It was based on going within myself, finding peace within myself, surrendering to my world, and following aligned action with the version of myself. And knowing that I'm living in a simulation where I don't have to fear anything. I don't have to worry anymore. My cortisol levels have dropped. I don't have all of this fear. My body's not tense, it's free, okay? My body is free, it's not tense. I let everything go. And I believe that that is the reason why my physical body, my cardiovascular system is nearly 10 years younger than my actual age. And I believe that I can continue to lower that number or to raise that number to be even 15, 20 years younger than my actual age. And I believe and I contribute that not to just visualization, but understanding that I'm living in a simulation, that I don't have to take things so serious, that I can love my life and love what I'm doing and change my perception of what work is. And a lot of times we suffer with the stress of the observation of what our world actually is. And we stress over and over and over again about everything we have to do every day. We're not in the present moment, and we're not at peace. But I'm here to tell you that you can find peace in the work by simply changing the observation of what frustrating work is. And it doesn't have to be frustrating. It can be interesting. It can be fun. But we've been conditioned and programmed to believe that all these things we shouldn't have to do or we don't want to do, and they've got to be frustrating, they got to be difficult, they got to be something we try to avoid, but when they don't. And I contribute my health and my success to me making the shift and understanding and surrendering and not being a slave to my world, to the simulation anymore. Rather, my world is working for me. And this is actually something that I put on my wall on a chalkboard that I see every day. And it's about social media, because when I started my brand, I started to kind of pivot that way where I was like, I have to post a video every day. And I did that for an entire year, sometimes more than one video a day. And I made sure that I did it no matter what was going on in my life, how busy I was, didn't matter what personal situations or whatever issues I had in my life, I made sure that I made that video every day. And I put this on my wall, and it says, I don't work for social media works for me. And this is also something that I have adopted with the simulation. I don't work for the simulation works for me. And it frees a lot of that tension and that fear and that anxiety and that stress within me, because that's really the way it should be. And it is, because your imagination creates reality. Reality doesn't create your imagination. It doesn't control anything. Everything's coming from within you. It actually works for you. Your world works for you. And you can change all this by simply reminding yourself. But it's about developing your attention and becoming a new version of yourself and not allowing anything else in. And understanding you're living in a simulation subsumed within that identity that you become, okay? And that's self-mastery. And I know I've manifested supercars, I've manifested businesses, I've manifested the YouTube channel, I've manifested, the body of my dreams. But I think over all of that, what I've just manifested, which is my health being 10 years younger than my actual age, is more, it trumps every other manifestation that I've ever created. Because you can have everything in the world, any material thing, have the best physical body, drive a different supercar every day, have 10 different houses across the world that you travel to, but if you're not healthy, none of that means anything. That's why I believe this is one of my most powerful and meaningful, or biggest flex of manifestation, and using the law of assumption, and using and developing peace within myself, and being able to detach from the simulation and the stress of life and still continue to do all the work and still continue to take congruent action in my world, but on a different level, on the level to where it's interesting now and it's actually fun. It doesn't have to be this thing where like, oh, I don't want to do that today. I have to concentrate so much. I want to avoid this concentration because I don't want to develop my mind. Instead, be like, you want to know what? This is going to build me. It's going to develop me. It's happening for my benefit. It's going to lead me to that next level. And you want to know what? It's interesting because of that. And I'm going to take it to that level now. I'm going to take it to that level. And it's nothing that I specifically manifested, the health. I contribute this to all the exercises, the leaf exercise, the reverse exercise, knowing I'm living in a simulation and changing my observation of my world and my perception of my world, releasing all of that. Of course, I don't do drugs, and I don't do any of that stuff, and I don't have any of the vices that most people have. I don't take any medication. I don't do any of that stuff, which I did do for most of my life before I went to prison. But it's on a deeper level. This is a spiritual thing. This is an internal change that I've made that's literally stopped the aging process. And I believe that anyone can do this through the process of developing their mind properly, a proper way to think, becoming present in the moment and surrendering and finding peace within themselves, doing the same things and even more than they were before. Because I'm constantly doing things. Constantly. I'm constantly doing things. But it doesn't affect me the way that I see that it affects most people. And I observe this in a lot of people that I coach. They try to avoid the difficult things because they've programmed themselves, they've been conditioned from the simulation to think that they need to avoid it. That's difficult because they don't want to concentrate. It's because of all the social media, it's because of all the instant gratification. That's a program to condition our minds that anything we have to focus on, one thing for long periods of time, we try to avoid. It's because our minds have been conditioned to not be successful and to not be healthy. And it's literally a disease in the simulation that you can catch if you can't control it from within yourself and catch yourself and develop your mind properly. And it's time to stop being a slave to your world and understand that the simulation works for you, you don't work for it, okay? Just like I adopted when I was building my YouTube channel, that changed my whole perception of the entire thing. Social media, I don't work for social media. Social media works for me because it was a business. It's not some personal thing. And I'm helping people. So I don't work for it, it works for me. And it's the same step towards your simulation, consciousness itself. You are a particle of God, a particle of God. You have an imagination. You possess what most of nature does not. Your ability to manifest through your imagination by holding your attention on one thing for long periods of time and identifying you as somebody, your new ideal of who you want to be, until the naturalness, until you're possessed by that version of yourself. And that's really the key to it all, okay? Is assuming that you're somebody different now. Identifying yourself with the version of yourself that you want to be, and holding your attention on that as much as you possibly can, until you become possessed by it. And then it becomes you. And then you're natural in that state. And that's the key. That is the key to your success. And you can do it today. You can start right now. Just start catching yourself throughout the day. Start catching yourself throughout the day. Whenever you start looking at your work as something you're trying to avoid because you've been conditioned to not want to concentrate on things for long periods of time. Catch yourself and say, you want to know what? This is actually developing my mind so I can focus for longer periods, and it becomes easier and easier and easier the more that I do it. And so that makes it interesting, not frustrating, not difficult, but interesting and fun, and something that I'm growing from. That way I can achieve the things that I want to achieve. And a lot of times when you change your identity, you're assuming that you're a new successful version of you. More of this is going to come. But you're not going to view it that way anymore. You can't avoid it. It's happening to change you. It's happening to change you. Oh, the camera just fell on me. Let me hold it up. The camera fell on me, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to react to that. But you have to develop this skill, and it can take a little bit of time. But you start catching yourself throughout the day, it will take you to that next level. It will take you to that next level. So start doing that now. Start catching yourself throughout the day and learn that you're better than that the simulation works for you. You don't work for it. You can control it with your own human imagination, and you possess something the rest of nature does not. I love you guys. So remember that. You can turn the wheels backwards on your health simply by doing these things. By freeing yourself, surrendering, letting go, and changing the conditions that have been programmed into you for your entire life. And that's something that I've done, and now that is some more proof that not only can you manifest supercars, material things, getting the physique of your dreams, but you can also manifest health and reversing your aging process. I'll make some more videos on this to get more specific. I wanted to get this one out. I'm at the beach. I'm heading back to the house today, so I wanted to get one more video in. I love you guys, and I want to share that with you. I'm going to talk more about that in the live events on This World is a Simulation as well. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.